Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. Before we get into watching the video about how they hide things by making the weather, now that would be impossible, of course. Hey, let's have a look at something that we looked at in the last video. I need to show you something. We were talking about a red planet in our sky. Well, it's not yet visible because if you look up, you wouldn't be able to see this. It's just this technology in the way, hiding what we're looking at now. What we're looking at is a projected image. But how can we prove that there is something coming towards us? And with logic, it's very, very simple, for me anyway. Just think about it. What would you expect to see or expect to happen if we got planets coming towards us? First thing I would expect to see would be a migration of our poles starting to flip. And we're being told by our scientists that we're overdue for a pole flip. How about that then? Another thing I would expect to see would be an uptick in volcanoes, and many volcanoes are starting to come to life all over the planet. It seems to be heating up from the inside out. Another interaction I would expect to see, but we're being told by our scientists yet again that, hey, we're overdue for the big one. Earthquakes. Many deep earthquakes, many earthquakes going on, very big earthquakes. But yet again, we're being told by our scientists that we're overdue for that big one. Another thing would be a change in the weather. Our weather patterns would go absolutely crazy, but we're being told that this is global climate change. And they've warned us if we don't change things, it's going to become disastrous. But our weather has changed. Yet again, another bit of proof to say that there's something coming towards us. There couldn't be. It's just impossible. Another thing I would expect to see is maybe a bit of interaction between our sun and this object as it comes closer. Maybe a CME, or maybe our sun would start getting drained. And there's other things that would give it away, which we're going to talk about in a second. I'm just going to leave you with that thought. Department of Homeland and Security last week put out an official warning that everybody should get supplies together, water and food for the next 6 months. What do they know that they're not telling people? If people looked up, there would be absolute chaos if they could see this object right in front of them. Governments would fall and religion would be torn apart. So this is the reason why they're protecting us and hiding it, because most people couldn't, handle the truth. There is one more thing, like I said, that really does give it away, which they can't hide. They've got no control over. That is present, and I'm going to discuss it after we've watched this. Now what I'm going to do is stick a filter on this, and I've used this filter many times. It's called Equalize. It doesn't put anything into the video. It doesn't take anything out of the video. It's already there if it's already there, if you understand what I'm saying. What it does, it brings the brightness, contrast, colour, saturation all to a point, and anything that's hard to see, it brings it out and makes it more visible. And this is no exception. Wow, that's all I've got to say. Clearly see it spinning. This is not our sun. This is not a lens flare. A lens flare doesn't act like this. This moves along with the sun and the sun simulator. If we look up here with the filter on, guess what? We can see our real sun. Yellow. Sun simulator, white. Our sun's yellow, people, not white. If this was our sun, it's spinning way too fast. But of course, I faked it, didn't I? I photoshopped this. Yeah, right, okay. Why would I want to do that? How am I actually benefiting anybody by pulling people's legs? And I'm not the only person on the internet showing this. There are many different people out there. So they must all be faking their footage. Look in the background, we can see the chemtrails, how they act, just like a great big one-way mirror. Yeah, totally normal. It's most probably a big red football, a beach ball flying through the air. That's exactly what it must be. Our governments would have told us. No, they wouldn't. You can see just here we get this lensing effect and a dissection of a lens dissecting this red object. Hey, there's technology in our skies and they're very, very good at hiding bits and pieces. I think that's the best way to put it. Now, I've always said that our sun simulator is a big LED torch in the sky. It's big, white and bright. Our sun is yellow, guys. Black dots. There's the sun simulator, the central point. Don't forget, if you're looking at LED bulbs, we get that blue tint. And guess what? On this filter, it brings it out, so it must be there in the first place. It doesn't put anything in. And like I said, it doesn't take anything away, it just enhances the picture. So for it to be there in the first place, hey. So, like I was saying, there's just one more thing that they can't hide. It's just an impossibility. What other thing would you expect to see if we've got a red object coming towards us? Red skies, purple skies, pink skies, red suns, something that they've got no control over, and they are trying to control it. 25th of September 2016, 6:30 in the morning, the sky was just absolutely very purple. Many people just stopped what they were doing, looked up and went, wow, what's going on? It happened all of a sudden, and it faded out just as quick. Many reports of people seeing this, and a few pictures, but this is something relatively new. The camera doesn't really do it any justice. If we look over here, we can see there's a security camera and the LEDs, the red LEDs. Look at the two. Looks very, very similar. But they've got no control over this in whatsoever. A subscriber sent me a couple of pictures, and I'm sorry I lost your name, but if you'd like to write in, I'll give you accreditation to the pictures. Look at the sea. Very, very purple. Very, very red. Very, very not normal. Look at this. What is this? Part of a lensing system? This is not a rainbow. I can tell you one thing. It's something that you shouldn't be seeing on camera. 2018. 2018. 2018. Very purple. June the 24th. I took this picture, looks absolutely normal, doesn't it? Nothing wrong there at all. April the 20th, 2018. Now in 2016 and 2017, I've seen a couple of red sunrises should I say, but we can see the sun simulator there. When I was looking at it, it was very, very red. Looks like there's a curtain of light all the way behind there. May the 27th, 2018, 4 minutes past 5 in the morning, we get to see our sunrise, a red sunrise. Red object in the sky, red sunrise. Look at the sky, look at the cut of the air. I was very, very surprised to see anything rise actually, looking at the cloud. All of a sudden, 10 minutes later, and look how it's changed. White in the centre, red around the outside. Very localised red. Look at the colour of the sky. Just totally normal thing to see on camera. And talking about that, we can see our sun simulator just here. Yellow sun, red clouds. If you're looking at this picture thinking there's nothing wrong, well, if you put everything together and join the dots, the migration of the poles, the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the mad, mad weather, the red skies, the purple skies, and more importantly, the red sun, everything fits together and holds water that there is something there and there is something coming. Of course, yet again, it could be possible now. Hey, they would have told us. Yay, they're never going to tell us. There is nothing wrong. Let's have a look at them making the weather to hide so said objects in the sky. So, Can they control the weather? I do believe so. They controlled the weather over in Vietnam and made it rain for quite some time. They thought if they seeded the skies, made it that wet, that the Vietnamese would give up because it was raining so much. They didn't. Moving on through history to 2012, they seeded the skies over the London Olympics so it didn't rain and it was nice and warm. I also believe that Katrina was weather warfare, but if you control the weather you can hide things and also make it look like global climate change is happening when it's actually something else. 400 straight months it's been getting warmer and warmer. Let's have a look at this bit of footage. Tuesday 9th of October 2018, Palmyra east-southeast, if that's the way you pronounce it. Look just here. There seems to be an object. Is it a lens? This we normally get when there's a lens system in place. It's that from that. This moves out the way as the sun and the sun simulator go through the sky. There seems to be a line that's running down here. There seems to be a definition between left and right as well. Have a look at the clouds. You can see the arrow at the bottom as the smoke starts to belch and bellow as they make the weather, because they're trying to hide something. That's what I believe. Each picture is a minute, 60 pictures to 1 hour. This was here just for one frame. TRB3 craft by chance? No, of course it's not. Aliens don't exist. That technology doesn't exist. And then suddenly this object appears, just one frame. That means it was there for 1 minute. Either this is fast moving or their systems give up the ghost and we get to see it. You can see how it is belching through. Look at the colour of the sky. And in comes the storm. Very, very red. For all those people that might have missed those little bits and pieces, we're going to watch it again and we're going to look at it through Equalize. We know what Equalize does. It brings the contrast, brightness, saturation, everything else up to the same level so we can see all those bits that were hard to see in the first place. There's that object. Red object in the sky. They're always red. Look at the sky just here. It's red. Very, very red. Looks like the clouds are disappearing on this side. Not rightly sure what's going on. Hologram skies, possibly. And look at this smoke, or yeah, of course it's not smoke. Chemtrail haze. Whatever it might be, it's something that shouldn't be happening, and certainly something that we shouldn't be getting on the camera. Hey. Very, very red. Like I say, there seems to be a definition between these two sides. Very red over here. And very red, yeah, extremely red. In comes the storm. How the sky changes. Ooh. Let's have a little bit of a closer look. Slow this down and see what's going on. Look how the clouds sort of like disappear. Yep. Just like there's something in a way. Like a big lens. Would that be possible? Look how red the sky is. Very red over here. Very red over here. Very, yeah. Go outside at night, have a look at the sky. It seems to be red all night. Very, very dark red, mind you. What would be causing this effect, really? Come on, just thinking about it. You know, our sun is not red. Bit of a flash of light going on over here. Puts his teeth back in because he can't speak. In comes the storm. And, yeah, seems to be a lot going on over this direction. And as you can see, the filter brings out a lot more detail. Very red over here. And in the background there seems to be, well, that's probably just my imagination. Starting to get very red over here and just here. And look at this. What is that? That is no rainbow. I can tell you exactly what that is. It's something that shouldn't be on camera. At any rate, put everything together. What are we looking at? It's still there. To me, everything fits into place. It's for you to decide. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already, because people are not being notified about the videos. Anyway, that's all I've got for you now. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.